Australia's retail giants, Coles and Woolworths, have for years been accused of squeezing and intimidating their suppliers in order to maximise the supermarket chain's profits. But no action has been taken because suppliers were too afraid to take on the big two. Now the nation's consumer watchdog, the ACCC, has announced it's suing Coles for unconscionable conduct towards 200 suppliers. The move follows a 2-year investigation into claims the supermarket giants have abused their market power. Greg Hoy reports.
Supermarket giant Coles sparked the price war with rival Woolworths that has raged for 3 years, shaken the foundations of the $80 billion supermarket sector and thousands of Australian companies and farms that supply it. The ACCC now claims that Coles has been illegally squeezing some of its suppliers to help keep its prices down while maintaining its profits.
What we're alleging is that that Coles made arbitrary demands of 200 suppliers. We're alleging that they behaved unconscionably towards those 200 suppliers by asking them to make payments to Coles, in essence to improve Coles' profit margin. We're alleging that Coles did that through using their undue influence, their very strong bargaining position. We're alleging they used misleading information, gave them very short time period to agree to these things, and we're also alleging that if the suppliers didn't agree to make the payments, then they'd be subject to all sorts of commercial penalties that Coles would then apply.
Today's announcement, the ACCC will launch a federal court action against Coles, met with loud cheering amongst Australian supermarket suppliers and consumer advocates.
Make no mistake, this is huge. We've not seen the ACCC use laws about unconscionable conduct in this way against such a major business before. So this could really change the way in which Australia's consumer and competition laws are understood in a way that affects every large business in Australia.
At the heart of the case are long-running claims Coles has waged a strong-arm campaign to eat into profit margins of suppliers.
I should say that the campaign involved very organised and concerted approach by Coles. There were training for the various category managers in how that approached the suppliers. There were scripts given to those category managers that involved commercial threats being made to the suppliers, and in some cases the category managers would win prizes if they were successful in what they achieved from the suppliers in terms of getting money from them.
Rural suppliers, who've been amongst the supermarket's loudest critics, are particularly happy that action will be taken.
We've had in-camera meetings with the ACCC, and some of the nature of those discussions have been quite confidential. But in broad terms, they relate to issues of supply and the way in which particular growers have been treated.
We want to see transparency and equality right through the whole of the supply chain. From the farmers right through to the consumers, that we know what's going on around the supply.
Food manufacturers also joined the celebrations.
These are very serious matters. They've been swirling around the industry for years, and we think it's quite appropriate that they be tested in court.
730 discovered last year suppliers have long been scared to speak out.
I'm speaking to you anonymously because we have a business that I feel would suffer from retribution because of the chain's behaviours. I believe they need to really consider the way they're treating local manufacturers on a commercial level.
To overcome such fears, the ACCC also asked for confidential evidence before forcing supermarket suppliers to give evidence so no one could be identified as a whistleblower.
The investigation now, the pleadings before the court, all the information we're relying on has come from the use of our compulsory information powers. Most of it has come from Coles, some of it has come from suppliers, but none of it has been voluntarily supplied. All of it has come through our compulsory information powers, and that's the way the suppliers definitely wanted.
The ACCC thinks that its case against Coles is very strong. The big supermarkets, meantime, have been busy negotiating a voluntary code of conduct with some suppliers to try to preempt the ACCC findings. So would a voluntary code have prevented the type of behaviour that saw today's charges laid against Coles? The bad news for the supermarkets is that the ACCC doesn't think so.
Given that Coles have a very strong bargaining position and they've used that bargaining position, we allege, to extract these payments, we allege therefore that Coles could probably find a way within the current code to do what's been done here. So we don't think the code would address the issue.
The National Farmers Federation is calling for a tougher, mandatory code of conduct to be imposed on the supermarkets.
The NFF supports a mandatory code. We were involved in the voluntary code up until early last year. We withdrew from that code. We believed it wasn't going and wasn't being definite enough in its direction.
The ACCC, meantime, says its inquiry into supermarket suppliers is far from over.
I think that lots of consumers are concerned that there's something fishy going on in the supermarket industry. So they see prices going down, but they don't know whether somebody is suffering along the supply chain. And what this investigation does is really pull back the veil so we can see what's really happening.
I think these are all steps towards improving the operation of this market, improving the retail supplier relationship, and for the consumer ensuring a better deal.
Greg Hoy with that report.